Good day everyone, I am Nicole de las Reyes Medina and I will be your lecturer for today. Before we proceed to my topic, the last lecture discussed about the index number trend series and the interpreting trends by graphing and scattergram in trend line. So for now, my topic is about regression line analysis and the other tools that are used in presenting financial analysis. So after this discussion, you will be able to define and understand the purpose of regression analysis. Second, you will know the positions and formats of regression analysis and other tools and how it will be presented. Lastly, you will learn how to execute the regression analysis using the financial ratios. So for introduction, horizontal analysis is comparing the company's performance in different periods. It helps the investors and analysts to analyze a trend line in order to know whether the company is performing well or not over time. In performing horizontal analysis, we use different tools to spot the trends and growth patterns in order to make a specific prediction about the financial status of the said entity. So in interpreting trends, it is best to use the graph and the trend line. The trend line, if once the trend line is hard to establish, we will use the regression analysis. So first, what is regression analysis? Regression analysis helps predicting a value of independent variable by using the value of independent variable. It is calculated using the formula of linear regression equation, wherein y is equal a plus b x. Y represents the value of the dependent variable or predicting variable, while the x observes the independent variable. B serves as the slope of the line, while a is the intercept point of the regression line. So, first, to compute the regression equation, we must first find the slope and the intercept. By finding the slope, the formula is the quantity of summation of x minus mean of x times the quantity of summation of y minus mean of y over quantity of summation of x minus mean of x squared. So for the intercept, the formula is a is equal mean of y minus b times mean of x. In order to form up a line, it is needed to get only 2 points of a line. So the regression equation is used to solve it. You have to pick the two values of x. It could be any value of x, then obtain the predicted y values for these values of x. Then the combination of the x and y variable will create the trend line. So for my example, I use the current ratio of Manila Bulletin from 2008 up to 2017. So the first column indicates the year. It is arranged in an ascending order from earliest year up to its latest year. So for the second one, the x represents the independent variable wherein it assigns the number of years from year 1 up to year 10. On the third column, the amounts on the particular account represents our y variable, in which it is a current ratio from 2008 up to 2017. So for the fifth column, it is the product of the x variable and the y variable. So here, to compute for the linear regression equation, we must first find the slope and the intercept. So by applying the formula of the slope, we will substitute the values that we obtain and we will get the result of 0.0770. In applying the formula for intercept, we will substitute the slope that we obtain and we will get the 1.0965. Thus, the linear regression equation will be 1.0965 0.0965 plus 0.07706. After knowing the linear regression equation by using the y is equal to a plus bx, we will now proceed to draw a trend line in order to establish the relationship of slope to two or more trend lines. However, we will not show it in our financial planning, the exact graph, but we still have our choice to include it in as part of our annexes. So aside from regression analysis, we also have the other tools that we can present in our financial plan. So these are the DuPont identity and the advanced Z-score. For the DuPont identity, we have two choice. It's either 3-step DuPont identity or 5-step DuPont identity. The main difference is the 5-step DuPont identity is an expansion of 3-step DuPont identity. It is an expanded version of 3-step DuPont identity wherein the profit margin component is divided into 3 parts: the tax burden, interest burden, and the operating profit margin. So this is the sample format in doing a DuPont analysis that we can present in our financial plan. So the years are presented in from least to highest, from earliest year to latest year. So the DuPont analysis is a tool that breaks down the return on equity into financial leverage, operating margin, interest burden, tax burden, asset turnover ratio in order to pinpoint what drives the return on equity if the result became unsatisfactory. So now the next one is the Z-score, advanced Z-score. It is a tool used to predict if the business will go bankrupt within 2 years. So the way how DuPont analysis is presented, it is same goes by the Z-score, advanced Z-score. In a nutshell, regression line analysis is used to describe the relationship between the dependent and independent variable in order to predict the future trends or forecast the company's performance. Aside from regression analysis, there are also other tools that are being discussed in performing a financial plan. These are the advanced Z-score and the DuPont analysis in order to avoid the financial distress of the said company.